Well, he spent some time doing network television, but loves people. So these days, he spends more time on the road than in one of those stuffy studios.
And you'll never hear him use the word like unless it's grammatically correct.
You're fresh off the Todd and Tyler Radio Empire. Bobby Hawkins at the Funny Bone all weekend. But I heard you, I was watching a clip and you don't like when people say like all the time. Like,
The Kardashians?
Actually, I'm not that much of a stick in the mud, but I do find little frailties like that I think worthy of bringing up, people that they can't even say a sentence without saying like 1,000 times in it. And they don't realize that it creates listener fatigue.
I sat next to a woman on a plane once, these two women on a plane, and honestly, by the end of the plane ride, I was counting. I was keeping track. I had like a tally mark.
Yeah, I do that.
And I've got a 13-year-old, so I'm trying to break her of that habit too. She says like quite a bit too. I hear you're turning 50.
Where'd you hear that?
Colleen told me. Colleen said you're turning 50.
Everyone
Secret's
thinks I'm 40.
out.
No,
So
May will be
right?
50, and I'm at
How
that
do you
age
feel?
now where I'm finally admitting that I'm getting old. I got to watch what I eat, so I switched to mini ravioli. I got to be careful what I do for fear of looking weird. Like if you two said you were going to Thailand tomorrow, everyone would say, well, have a great time. It's beautiful. And get us a refrigerator magnet. If I told you I was going to Thailand by myself, everyone would think the same thing. Leave them kids alone. I got to be careful what I do. I don't run into a lot of generational gaps with people. Mm-hmm. I have a nephew who's 25, and he's just me then. I get it. But we were watching The Avengers, the superhero movie, and I said, man, that was great. And he said, I didn't think the Hulk looked real. I said, well, he's not.
Right.
That's why it's not a documentary.
Right.
Why don't you squint your eyes? I don't want to be that guy, but I remember the first King Kong. I don't know if you guys do, but the stop frame motion, then his fur would move for no reason, and even Kong was like, what the hell?
Things have come a long way.
Then I posed this question to him. I said, how come there's no female orcs in The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings? You never see any female orcs. They have to come from somewhere. I think it'd be a great way to flesh out the story, They're at the Pottery Barn, I can't hang out with you guys anymore. She says you're bad. I won't make it to Khazad-dûm. And so I said, but it just, where do they come from? He says, orcs are not born. They are made of slime and stone through the sorcery of Valar Mordoth. They dig up from the ground in Middle-earth. Right. I said, well, that answers my next question, which is, why are there no females around us?
Right. But you've been doing stand-up for a long time. You've been in the business a while. So now that you're approaching 50, do things change? Do you look at stand-up differently?
I have to be a little funnier. No, funny's funny on stage. There's no weight limit. There's no age limit.
Right.
There's no gender discrepancy. Although the bathrooms have gotten a little crazy. No, I'm kidding.
That's
I think bathrooms are something
that
that handle themselves. I mean, when I think of the trouble I've caused in bathrooms, and I'm just a heterosexual, legal fun.
Right,
like you can take a can of corn and throw it in one of the commodes, and the next guy goes in there and they always go, what in the heck? I just get a kick out of it. It's legal.
What is the craziest thing you've seen in all your years of touring, or what stories pop into
your head? You've got all these
head?
clubs across the country, and you've been touring for a long time.
Well, I would have preferred that to be a pre-question because there's too many, there's too many to remember. Recently?
Or have you had, do you find that most people are really polite? I know comedians have to deal with hecklers and people, knowing your material, being super fans and throwing things out at you, which I can't imagine trying to keep on track and having somebody do that. What do you do?
I talk fast, so no one heckles me because they run out of steam. They're like,
you roll right through it.
So I talk fast, and I remember a couple of little things. They have the high top chairs in the back. Mm-hmm. And I made a guy laugh so hard that he just fell flat out. There was a big boom. Because it was really loud. And then in St. Louis, I gave a guy a heart attack.
You did, really?
Yeah, I feel bad about it, but they had to get an ambulance and take him out. And then when the show was over, the show was about to end. Yeah. And so he was still out there, and I gave him one of my CDs and said, here, finish the job.
You're that
and he was
funny.
Like, oh. Wow.
You did some sitcom though stuff. Titus, the sitcom Titus. You were a regular guest star on that for a while, right?
Yeah, I was on a few episodes. I was on the writing staff as well.
Yeah, but you were a story editor. Is that how you got started with the show?
I got started with the show by knowing the star.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's who
works.
you know, right?
Yeah, he took me along, and I'm sure I provided some humor.
Yeah.
But it was a blast, because I used to watch Dick Van Dyke, and these. Well, what are they doing? They just sit and write jokes all day? So it was a great time, and it was a great show. And too bad it didn't keep going.
Well, I talked to him not too long ago via satellite. What's he doing now?
He's still touring.
Is he doing stand-up?
Yeah, everybody falls back. All the stand-ups fall back on stand-up. I mean, there's a lot of SNL guys out there right now working clubs.
Yeah.
You would think, why? You know.
Yeah.
But it's a great place to work out your material, right? I mean, you have to kind of, do you feel like you have to road test it to see if
On
it-
the sitcom, or?
Well, just anything that I think comedians always, like, to your point, feel like that's the real place. That's,
You know, a lot of people in the entertainment industry put stand-up comedy just above mime in the hierarchy, and I think it's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. It should be at the very top.
Absolutely.
It's live. You don't have any props. You get used whatever you thought about,
Right.
you know, whatever you dreamed about, and you have to make it work for an hour. So I think that's a little bit harder than having a crew of 3,000 work on a movie, so you can go and laugh twice in an hour or 2 hours.
or a band behind you,
Right.
or
so
so
I
many
think
other
it's
things.
way higher up there, but that's only because I'm a narcissist.
Well,
Well,
then there's that.
The Narcissist is at the Funny Bone tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. 5 shows in all over the course of the weekend. FunnyBoneOmaha.com. Do you get back to Omaha very? I don't think we haven't
It's
had
been
you
a
on the
while.
show. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, well, Colleen likes the comics to have new jokes.
So you just
And
gotta
so
wait
it's
till you
just
come
been
in
a
with some
little
new
while,
material. That's good. Bobby Hawkins, thanks for stopping by this morning.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend in Omaha.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you. Nice
All
to meet
right,
you.
tomorrow.